changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration to make you simply happy. It's Friend Friday, and today we have a really special guest, comedian Donnell Rawlings, who is here to tell us about his new TV show, which is actually a Chicken Soup for the Soul production, and it's called Project Dad. So, Donnell, welcome to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast.
Thank you. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I'm rich! No, I won't say that. I always, for some reason, people remember my voice from Chappelle's show at the end of every episode, and I just have this impulse to just say that wherever I can say it. But I'm back to earth now, and I'm excited.
Oh, that's okay. You can say anything you want, son.
Okay. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. That might have made my day.
All right, so now we got your standard lines that everybody knows.
Yeah.
So, I was reading your bio, and I didn't realize that you had served in the Air Force.
Yeah, I was in the Air Force for 4 years. I was patriotic, but I wasn't like Marine Corps 9-2 Bravo Charlie patriotic. I was patriotic because my transition from high school, I wasn't going to college at that time, and I didn't want to go to jail. So I was like the next best option for me to get some culture and to see the world was the Air Force. So, and it was a good experience. 4 years. I didn't get kicked out. Honorable discharge.
Well, you know what? I think that was your college, and it was probably actually a much better way to grow up than going to college would have been.
Yeah, I mean, to go from like an 18-year-old being serving the country and your first duty station being Kunsan, Korea, it was definitely like it was my version of a gap year for those rich fancy people that can afford gap years. It was my ghetto version of a gap year.
Okay, I like that. That's really good. So everybody knows you from Chappelle's show. But you have been on so many other things. I know you've been on The Wire, right?
Yeah, I was on The Wire. I was on The Wire the first season, and the last season on The Wire, I was the assistant to the crooked Congressman Clay Davis. They had me in the first episode, the first season and the last season, and that was because HBO, prior to The Wire, there was a 6-part miniseries called The Wire. David Simon, who wrote it was called The Corner. And it was directed by Charles Dutton, and that was my relationship with The Wire. It was kind of like them like saying that he did a good job on The Corner. Let's give him this other series, but it was a dramatic role on both series.
Well, that's cool. So now your latest venture is your Chicken Soup for the Soul show, Project Dad. And just to put this in perspective for everybody, what we did was we bought the rights to a show that has been incredibly popular in Korea. It's been on for 6 years there. It's widely credited for having made fathers in Korea become much more involved with their children. And we took the idea behind the show and adapted it for the U.S. And in the U.S., the show is about 3 celebrity dads, including Donnell, who basically come off the road, step out of the spotlight, and take care of their kids alone for a couple of days. And then after they prove themselves doing that, for an even longer time. And that's what this hilarious show, Project Dad, is all about. And Donnell, you are so funny on the show.
No, I think that Austin and the show was really funny on me. That I've worked with Chappelle, I've done The Wire, but I have to honestly say this project is a project I had the most fun doing. Being able to, like, me being a comedian and an actor, being able to work with my son on television and actually, like, learn the trials and tribulations of being the one person in charge of your kid for 48 hours with no relief from mom, with a kid that is still breastfeeding. I've done a lot of things in my life, but I've never been able to produce breast milk. That was my first dilemma. My next dilemma was my son hadn't socialized with a lot of kids, so I had to stop him from picking kids up or even beating them up. I wasn't raised like that. Don't want my son to be raised like that. But I will say the one thing that I got from this show was the importance of a mom. It was a challenge for me. Like, when I told my friends the premise, every one of my friends rooted against me. They was like, "You'll never make it." There's no way. I can't believe that. I hope you can keep your son alive. So it was like a challenge for my family, for my friends, and I just wanted to have bragging rights. And definitely Austin took me to task on it. It was difficult, fun, and rewarding all at the same time.
It was so funny during the first episode when Stephanie was writing you your list and trying to explain stuff to you, and you were acting like, I don't need this. I'm going to be fine. I know what I'm going to do. And she knew. She was looking at you and rolling her eyes like, you have no idea.
And you look at my eyes and you look like this guy is full of chicken soup right now. You know? But I will say, out of all the projects I've done, like Stephanie was so excited when the opportunity presented itself. The initial process, she got so excited about Chicken Soup for the Soul. She was like, "Do you know who they are?" She went like bananas. So for me to be able to partner up with you guys and do this, it was like in my household, I'm like king right now.
Oh, that's really good. Well, Austin is so adorable. He's 11 months old on the show. I could not stop laughing when he kept dropping his sippy cup off the side of the high chair.
No, you can't tell everybody what happened. But
it was just in one episode. That's just the first episode. That's all I'm going to say.
No, it was. I mean, for me, it's new. Everything is new for me. Like, I've showed some friends some clips, and like the women all say, "Oh, Donnell, that's the first thing you learn." I don't know the first thing you learn. Everything I'm learning, it's for the first time. So I didn't know that your 11-year-old son, could play mind games with you.
Oh yeah.
I thought when he heard my voice, the macho man voice, everything would change. But I was up for a rude awakening.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how famous you are outside of your house. In your house, the baby is in charge. Matter.
But I will say, I've had to, like, even with my stand-up, like, I try to do some political humor, like pop culture, topical stuff. But now I have to work on my noises. Like, I can make Austin laugh for like 30 minutes just with, and like he's like, that's the funniest thing ever,
So the show is airing on TLC in January and February. TLC is a different channel in everybody's system, but just everybody should go and look up TLC. You got to watch this show. There are 8 episodes. They are hilarious, and you're going to watch Donnell figuring out how to be a dad. It's really, really funny. So what did you learn? Like, how did you change over the course of the 8 episodes?
I realized that you have to have a level of patience. Most dads, I know dads are involved in their kids' life. For the most part, mom is with the dad majority of the time. So when a dad steps in, it's like going to a part-time job. You know what I mean? You're not committed for 40 hours. You just got to work 12 hours a week, and you can go do whatever you want to do. But what I did learn is that you have to have the patience to figure out, like, what's going on in the child's mind. Everybody says their kids are crybabies, but that's not necessarily true. It's like the only way they can communicate is through a cry. So as a dad, you have to learn what that cry means. Like, what are your kids' needs at the moment? And you have to realize that it's the most unselfish. You can't be selfish in everything. 24 hours a day is about that person. So if I learned anything, I learned the importance of the patience it takes to raise a kid and nurture a kid. That's the number one thing I got from the show.
So you know what it's sounding like to me? It sounds like you did a lot of growing up when you were in the Air Force right out of high school.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're going through a second round right now.
It's what? It's coming back?
Yeah, learning how to take care of a kid is like a second round of growing up, learning how to be patient, learning how to take care of other people besides yourself.
When you've been, your career and your life just has been all about you, especially in this field where it's a controlled, ego-driven field. You have to have a certain cockiness to be successful in stand-up comedy. For you only have to worry about yourself, and all of a sudden it's like, the selfishness it's gone. You have to live for another life. It is the next level. It's like boot camp round 2. And especially for me, it's like I didn't have a kid as a 20-year-old or 21-year-old. It happened later in my life. Like all of my friends' kids are older. Austin's first birthday party, with me planning it, I had to get an attendance list. So I'm calling my friends. I'm like, you think your son could come to my son's first birthday party? And they were all like, if he can get off work, Donnell, he works 2 jobs.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, you think your son's son can come to my party, son? So I had that challenge, and it's at the end of the day, it's the best thing you could do. It's just, all my friends told me, Donnell, it's a game changer, and I didn't understand it. They were like, it's the best thing you can do. Like, I've had a life. I've had fun in Cancun. Like, when my son was born, I compared it, like, I had a really nice weekend in Cancun once, and then I had Austin. But I was like, my son won, but it wasn't by a landslide, It wasn't a landslide. But it's the greatest feeling.
Yeah, and as they get older, they just get better and better and better. Like, you're going to find every single age is your favorite age.
I know. I didn't think I was going to be the guy to say, like, how old is he? 7 months, 9 months, 13 months. I never thought I was going to be that person. I never thought I was going to be the person that just says, aw, for everything. Like, when I see my friends now, we do what I call a baby picture, like Uno. Like, you pull out a picture, and then you try to see how many awes you get from your friend. And, it's like, aw, first walk, aw, Uno, But I'm loving it. I'm embracing it. And, I just want to be a good example for dads out there that are probably going through it for the first time. They know the process, need some encouragement. I'm just trying to elevate the whole fatherhood thing, and we can do it. We can definitely do it. And we'll start 48 hours at a time.
Yeah, and it worked in Korea. It made a whole country of better fathers, apparently. And I think it's probably making you a better mate for Stephanie also, because you must really appreciate her now.
Oh, my God. The first time on the one episode when she left for the first time, and I knew it was going to be a dilemma because Stephanie breastfeeds. I was like, if I have an issue at any time, it's going to be hungry late at night. I don't have breasts. But that's when it really, really, really stung. I'm like, breasts are for nutrition. They're really what they're for, and the need for a kid to be with their mom. We can do our best. You can't replace mom, but you can give it a good shot.
I think she probably has some attributes that you don't have beyond breasts, though, like the ability to multitask, handle Austin, calm him, etc. What do you think?
That's my story. If you want to find out what happened, I already know you're on the woman's side. You're on the mom's side. I respect that. You came to her defense, But if you watch the show, you'll see how much I stood up for the test. Yes, Stephanie can multitask, but I learned some things, and I had some tricks of my own during this whole process.
Well, you know what? You're quick on your feet, right? Because you're a stand-up comic, so you have to be able to react quickly to changes in the situation.
Yeah, reacting to change in the situation and changing the diaper are two different things. I don't know if there's any skill on the stand-up stage will prepare me for that late-night diaper change and the one that comes just never stops.
Well, it's really inspiring to watch you on the show. I highly recommend it to everybody.
Did you root for me? All right, let's be honest. Did you root for me?
Of course.
I don't believe that at all.
No, I root for the empowerment of all the dads out there because I want to go on break. Are you kidding? All the moms want the dads to be great at this. We want to go on vacation.
I knew it was a personal motivation.
That's why we made this show. We made this show so that we'd make all the dads in America be better at being dads so that all of us women could go on vacation. That's the secret plan.
Oh, my God. So I got to get my vacation money ready.
Oh, yeah, and you're paying for the vacation, too. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I want to be a mom.
Well, listen, Donnell, it was great to have you on the show. Thanks so much. I want to thank everybody out there for listening. The next time we get together, it's going to be Motivational Monday, and we're going to talk about a new spin on New Year's resolutions because it is that time of year. If you want to watch Donnell on Project Dad, go find out what channel TLC is on your television or go to chickensoup.com and you can find out more about the show there. And listen, you guys have to follow Donnell on Twitter and Instagram. His handle is at Donnell Rawlings. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you for the show. Like, I'm super excited. Like, this show is just awesome. It's a good look. As we say, it's a good look, son.